How's it going, guys? It's your Dube here. It's time for episode number 7 of my Colorado Avalanche BAGM Mode Commentary. Last we left off, we lost in the first round against Nashville. Disappointing loss there. But we're gonna end up. What I'm gonna do is actually, because I took a look at our AHL team, and they're actually doing really well. They won their first 3 games of their series: 3-0, 4-0, and 5-0. So what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna change. I'm gonna send down a couple people down to the AHL, where they could probably help out the team. Anyone with like a 2-way contract, or players like Vancouver and Elliott, those kind of guys, they could easily go down. You could send him to them. Well, we'll have to swap with some terrible player, but we'll swap with a guy like that. And Vancouver will also send down for some cheap guy. Who else can we send down? McGinn. So just to improve our team and see if we could actually win the Calder Cup, I believe that's what it's called. Tyson Barrie will swap down. I think that should be good enough. Yeah, I don't believe anyone else has a 2-way contract. Let's just take a look at the goalies. I'm not going to send down Miller. Jaguar, Picard's decent enough there, and Picard will probably end up becoming the, let's just do best lines for both age. Yeah, so if we do best lines here, we have Vancouver again on the first line. So very, very much better looking team, and we'll see if we could actually surprise a bunch of people and win the Calder Cup with the Lake Erie Monsters. I believe that's what they're called. But yeah, so disappointing to lose in the first round, but big changes in the off season. We're gonna go probably into the draft as well as free agency. Well, maybe not free agency, but the re-sign phase. I just want to have that, and then we'll go free agency in the preseason in the next episode. Hopefully those are done soon. Let's see if we could win against the I think it's Cincinnati Checkers. Pretty sure it's that, or Charlotte Checkers. Not sure, but anyways, they're gonna win 4 in a row, basically sweep the series there. We'll send ahead quite a bit, and we'll see how they do. So it'd be nice to get our AHL team up there. I mean, they played pretty well without even those good guys, but now that we have our prospects down there, we'll see if they could just do assistant coach best lines there. We'll see if they can make any changes and pretty much help out our team end up winning the Calder Cup. I'd be interested to see who's going to win the Stanley Cup, because at least we're looking really, really good there. Continue. We're up against the Abbotsford Heat. I believe this is the Flames. AHL assignment. Okay, we're going to do scout assignment right here. And what I will do is I'll just put forwards in OHL for 6 weeks. So I'll probably take a, oops, wrong button. Alright, whatever. I'm just going to hit continue. Sim to the end of the series. So yeah, in terms of, I guess if you're watching this and you're interested in my channel, other than my GM mode, I guess I'll talk a little bit. So Let's Play Hut will be coming out, I'm hoping, for every 2 days. Other than that, I mean, I feel like Mikko Pettersson, I'm almost done the first episode, so that should be uploaded soon enough. And maybe I'll start doing FIFA again, but I need to get the game first, and I don't know where I could find the cash for that kind of, to pick up the game, so we'll see. But anyways, they're going to win another series here. Nice job by the Lake Erie Monsters, and they're going to be going up against the Detroit Red Wings, I believe. Yeah, Grand Rapids Griffins, and we're going to just sim to the end of that. And it looks like Eastern Conference Finals are Detroit versus New York Rangers, so that looks interesting there. Best lines. We'll see. I see Chicago and someone else in the Western Conference. Wings and Sharks are in the Stanley Cup Finals, so that'll be interesting to see. Sorry, I can't talk there. But we're going to keep winning a couple games here, and we end up making the finals, so a nice job for our team right there. Vancouver, 7 goals in a couple series. Vancouver's going to be a good player. I feel like if he has a good development at the end of this season, then I feel like he could fit in on our 3rd line or maybe our 4th line. I just don't want to send him down to the AHL. I mean, he could probably develop, but he was holding his own in the NHL. So a couple losses here, another win, 2-2 series. Can we get a win here against the Hershey Bears? Another win, and we're on the brink of, well, it goes to game 7. And we lose. Oh, unfortunately, we can't win the Calder Cup. And we went to a game 7 and beat the Hershey Bears that are going to end up winning it. Vancouver had a solid playoffs there, though. So with that, I guess we'll jump into where the prospects game is. Detroit Red Wings actually won the Stanley Cup, so it's interesting to see. Let's just take a look at the award winners and the playoff tree after that. Award winners here: Detroit Red Wings, Stanley Cup, President's Trophy, Anaheim Ducks, Clarence S. Campbell, San Jose, Detroit Prince Wales, Art Ross Trophy, Steven Stamkos, Hart Memorial, Phil Kessel. Phil Kessel wins the Hart Memorial, so I think the Leafs will probably resign him after that kind of season. James Norris goes to Dan Boyle. Nice job for him. Steven Stamkos, Lady Bing. Calder goes to Braden Holtby. Didn't he play like 2 years ago? Oh well. Jimmy Howard gets the Jimmy Howard gets the Conn Smythe. Vezina goes to Henrik Lundqvist. William M. Jennings Trophy goes to Pekarine. Bill Masterson, Brooks Orpik. Frank J. Selke Trophy, Pavel Datsyuk. Ted Lindsay, Steven Stamkos, and then Maurice Richard goes to James the Real Deal Neal. So no awards for our team yet, but hopefully next year we'll be able to get up there. Now I have some issues with in terms of in the salary cap, because we have a lot of players that are signed to quite a bit of cash. So if we need to upgrade our forwards, I mean, we could probably pick up either 2 guys, but that means a player like Robida will probably end up having to go, and we're hoping that like players like Whitney and St. Louis, Whitney will probably retire. We'll see how it goes though, but St. Louis, I'm guessing he'll stay along for 1 more year probably. So next year's the year we have to go after. Pretty much we gotta try to win it all. Prospects game, no, I don't want to play it. Okay, it doesn't matter. I think our first pick is like in the 4th round anyways. So we'll just go into the draft. We'll see if we can make a couple trades here and there. If we could get a good forward for cheap, take a look at people's trade values, any good players, young players that will definitely help. And here's the moment of truth. Yes, Milan Hajduk retires. Okay, so we still have Whitney, so that's not too bad, and we could sign him for a cheap contract as well. So that's good. Milan Hajduk is the only guy who retired, and that's fine because he's only a 78 overall. So I was planning on not even signing him. But other than that, a couple big names: Solani, Pronger, those kind of guys, Arnott. And so yeah, that's pretty much who's the retired. So it's only Hajduk that's gone. Trading block. Let's just search if we could find a guy who is we're gonna look for potential from 4 to 5 at age 25 or younger, second line forward, and max salary of 3 mil. That'd be a decent pickup right there. And search list. Okay, so there's Colin Wilson, Cody Hodgson, Tarasenko, Hagelin, Eller, Gallagher, Bucker, and Johansson. So we have Bucker. Johansson would be not a bad player in that case. 23 potential's not too bad. A guy like Tarasenko might be nice to pick up, but his trade value isn't even that high, to be honest. If we could pick up a guy like Tarasenko right now who's earning 1.75 for 2 years left, St. Louis will end up leaving. By then we'll have McKinnon up there. I mean, a guy like Tarasenko on the right wing, second line, will definitely help out our team. So I think, I'm going to try to go after a guy like Tarasenko, or maybe I think Tarasenko would be the best guy. So we'll try to make a trade for Tarasenko at the draft, and we'll see how it goes, because he does seem like an interesting player, and he'd definitely be a good long-term solution to help out our team. I mean, I could give up players like Ryan O'Reilly, and then, although I don't want to give up a player like Ryan O'Reilly, I could always sign up a center that is good enough to replace him in the free agency. So anyways, let's take a look at Tarasenko, who I believe is in St. Louis. And so he's right here. So he doesn't even have that big of trade value, to be honest. It'll probably be tough to get rid of him, but they want every single one of these players. And players like Vancouver's at 79. He might even go up because they do upgrade it once again after a while. Eric Johnson's at 86. Matt Duchene 87. See, McKinnon's only at 70, so he's probably going to have another year in the juniors. But, let's take a look at who would match his block. Will a guy like O'Reilly match theirs? No, he doesn't. Oh, never mind. I'm looking at the wrong screen. Skaters matching block. So let's take a look at O'Reilly. Does match their block, but O'Reilly, I guess, is maybe a little bit too good there. So we could send in O'Reilly there and maybe try to get something back. But they're not giving away anyone. Who's their first round's an 18th pick, so not good at all. Player like Backus to fill in wouldn't be too bad, but as centers, let's take a look at who they have just real quick. Berglund could slot in there nicely. instead of O'Reilly. But O'Reilly once again will end up signing for $3 million. But a guy like Tarasenko is just really a very interesting pick. I mean, a very interesting player because he can develop into like an 88 overall eventually, and he's only 23. So I mean, what is he at? Potential 4.5 red, 4 green. So I mean, he could still hit 86, 87, and that'd be a loss to us. But Tarasenko could also hit 89. So that's another thing that you got to take into consideration. What I'm gonna think is, Vancouver's injured right now, but I mean, player like Vancouver, I don't know how much he can develop. He's 3.5 star green. A guy like Tarasenko is probably a little bit better than Vancouver. But Vancouver, we want to trade him away. They want him basically. He'll slot in nicely. We do have a little bit too much, and we could sign a center to replace him there. And Tarasenko could slot into our lineup very nicely with 2 years left on his contract. We'll be one after that, so we'll have to re-sign him in the next offseason. But a guy like Vancouver, and we could probably even throw in, let's just take a look at who they want in terms of another player that's like maybe in the AHL. Not much. I mean, we could try to throw in like a Bordelot, but that wouldn't work. So I mean, we could try sending Vancouver for Tarasenko and maybe a second round pick or something like that. Let's just take a look at the draft picks real quick. So they don't want any draft picks, but I mean, we have 4th rounds. Throw in 2016 second. Would that work? I doubt it will, but no. Because Vancouver's contract ends, so we wouldn't be able to trade Vancouver anyways. And I don't think I could get anyone else in terms of like a player like Tarasenko. Or let's take a look. Who else was that other player that was down there by Butker? I'm trying to think. I mean, Hagelin was there. Is he in? No, he's not here. Just trying to think who we could pick up that could help out our team immensely, like right away. Ryan Johansson. No, let's check Florida because they do have a pretty crappy team. I think they have the first overall pick as well. Trade value. Huberdeau's actually trade value isn't that high at all, and he's got 2 years left as well, and he's at an 86 already. So that's another thing to take into consideration. Kopecky, Versteeg, no, they're a little older. I wonder, let's see what Florida want for Huberdeau. Player like O'Reilly for Huberdeau. I think that'd be a good trade for us. In terms of what the problem is, O'Reilly's contract's ending. So, like, I mean, even if I asked for this trade right away, probably wouldn't. Yeah, his contract's about to expire. So maybe in the end, once we assign a couple players, we'd be able to sign this guy. So you know what? Since we have a 4th round pick, we're just gonna do auto draft. I'm not going to make any trades now. I just want to get into the signing right away. And so yeah, NHL draft is complete. We end up picking up a couple guys. Ben Finelli, I think that was one of the guys in like the Kitchener Rangers thing. Either he got hit or he hit someone. I think, if I'm thinking right. But anyways, we'll sim to the re-sign stage, and we'll see if we could pick up. We're going to have to make a plan for our team basically, because we do still have Ray Whitney, who is a decent player in terms of forward. If he's not asking for too much, it'd be a good idea to get him. So we'll go into the contract screen, and we'll take a look at who we have to resign. Sort by overall. So best player we have to resign is O'Reilly, and he is definitely going to be needed to be resigned. So we're going to negotiate a new contract. We'll definitely get him for less than $5 million, as you can see. I would be down to just go with 4 years. You know, we can go 6 years, and he'll still be less than what he had before. But I mean, 4.89. That's how much he wants. So you know what? Let's give him 4.25. And if we could get him for 6 years at 4.25, whoop, didn't want to do that. 6 years at 4.25. Okay, it's going to take a while. So yeah, I mean, hopefully O'Reilly signs for us with at 4.25. That's a decent deal. I mean, I'm pushing it in terms of like the difference in the asking price, but you never know. If it goes through, then that would just be great. So we're gonna offer him for 6 years at 4.25. If that goes through, we're gonna be making some nice. I mean, we only have 22 million cap, so players like Bucker also need to be resigned. How much does Robida want? I mean, a guy like Robida might, yeah, if I want to ask for 1 year, he's going to look for $4 million. I mean, he is a great defenseman, but he's already 37. I don't want to commit to a 4-year contract with a 37-year-old. But a player like Booker also needs to be re-signed. That is for certain. And he wants quite a bit in terms of his potential. But, I mean, he's also a good player, and he played very well for us in this season. So, just trying to think how much he would go for. You know, let's go 3.375 for 5 years. That looks like an okay offer, and we'll see if he accepts it. Take a look at Ekman Larson. We're good with him. Ray Whitney, how much does he want? If he wants less than $1 million, then I'm fine. 2.6 mil. I would be down to sign him for 1 year because I don't think he would. That would matter too much. If we could get him for cheap, I mean like 2.2. I think that'd be an okay offer, but right now I'm going to hold on to it and see if we could get how much cap we have once we re-sign everyone else. Tyson Barrie must be re-signed. Definitely a great potential prospect. And he only asking for 1.63, so I mean we could sign him for a long-term deal, 8 mil. I mean 8 years, I like that much, but I feel like it'd probably be better if we just sign him for 3 years and save the cap for these 3 years, since this GM mode won't be going on forever. But 1.3, let's go 1.4. That should be good enough to sign him. And Steve Downey, also nice to re-sign him. Have a good grinder on your team. Every team needs one of those. He's looking for a little bit more, but I mean we could sign him for about 3 years. That's when he asked for the lowest. So let's just take a look. I'm trying to think. 2.2 should be a good amount for him. Yeah, we'll go with 2.2 for 3 years. We'll see if he signs for that. McGinn also, he went up to 82, so he's going to be a solid player for our team. I mean, if we could re-sign him, yeah. So 5 years at 2.9. Let's just take a look at how much I can think. Can we get him for 2.5? You know, I'll give him 2.6. I think 2.6 would be okay for 5 years, and he'll definitely be an integral part of our team. Ryan Boyle, at this point, I don't know. I won't sign him yet. John Mitchell, I won't sign yet. Vancouver, must sign him. He's asking for a little bit. I mean, if we boost it up, he asked for a lot, but if we go 3 years at 1.72, just thinking how much he would. I think if we go 1.5, that should be okay at 3 years. Yeah, or you know what, let's make it 1.475. And if there's any other players, I mean, Elliott, we have to resign. Sarich will probably let go. Hunwick will let go. McLeod will let go. And then a bunch of all these other guys. I mean, if there's guys with potential, we could probably resign. Agazino might be a nice, we could just tender a qualifying offer to him since he's not asking for too much. And who else is an RFA? Malone. We'll think about it, but right now we have to re-sign, what's his name? Elliott, who's 77 overall. He'll probably get a little bit better there. He's 3.5 green, and he's not looking for too much. We can sign him for a 3-way, but we're just going to do 2-way contract for 0.7, and that should be good enough. And just thinking who else we have here. Oh, I think I forgot one guy. Yep, Ryan Miller. We still got to re-sign Miller, and he dropped down 2 overall. But I mean, he's still an elite goalie, so we're gonna sign him. Try to get him for 2 years, depending on how much he wants. He wants 6 years. I mean, a contract like that, 2 years, he's gonna ask for way more. I can try to get it down to 4 years, and if we could get it to like 5.5, that'd be great. You know, let's lowball him. Let's see if he accepts it or not, because I don't want to overspend on him. But I also do want to keep him. So we'll give him 5.2 for 4 years, and we'll see if he accepts that. And if he does, that'd be a nice deal for him, because we could trade him after 2 years once he starts getting worse and worse. Picard is staying. Giguère will release to free agents. Yeah, release, because Picard will end up probably becoming our backup. I feel like he will develop into a better player. And thinking who else is here in terms of the sort by potential, to see if we're forgetting anyone. We offered O'Reilly a contract, as well as Barrie, Booker, Elliott, Vancouver, McGinn also. Geertsen, I think this was one of the guys we drafted. I'm not sure if we had him before. Let's just take a look. 4th round, 2013. This is the 2014 year already. So we drafted him last year. And 3.5 red. That's actually not bad. And Bork as well. So Bork's becoming a free agent. I mean, he's 20 years old, but I mean, he could turn into someone who could eventually have some trade value. So you know what? Let's just give him a cheapest contract, 3 years. That's fine. We'll give Geertsen also a contract, and I think that should be it in terms of giving away contracts for right now. And then we'll see how much cap room we have and who we have to get. So we'll advance a day and we'll see who we will be end up signing. Hopefully we could pick up everyone, but I mean we lowballed a couple offers, so we'll see how it goes. Now I still have to make the decision on Robida and Ray Whitney because they both are still pretty good players, but I mean, do I want to add another depth forward? I mean, Whitney could stay in there, but that means I probably wouldn't be able to re-sign Robida, or do I go with Elliott and a guy like Serge, or do I sign a defenseman that's like 81 for 2 mil instead of going 4 mil with Robida? So I mean, there's a lot of choices that I have to make in terms of getting ready for the next season. Because okay, so Ryan Miller accepts offer. Perfect. And okay, roster's full, so Geertsen can't sign. But I feel right now we're at 6 mil in cap space. And let's take a look at the forwards, and we'll see in terms of overall who we still need to resign. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold on, I'm forgetting Whitney. I didn't count. Right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 pretty much good players. So we need to resign 4 more. Now Ray Whitney will take about 2 mil. John Mitchell, Boyle, and then McLeod is not good enough. So we'll have to re-sign someone else in terms of them. If we could get these guys for a mil, that'd be great. And then we could sign a guy like Brassard. Okay, so he wants a little bit more. Can we re-sign him to about 2 years at... Let's just take a look. 1.3. Yeah, 1.3 should be good for 2 years for John Mitchell. If anything, we could send him down to the AHL, and he probably won't count against. Boyle also would be nice to re-sign him, and he's looking for 3 years. I just want to give him 1 year at this point. 1.66. Let's give him 1.425. Okay, and I feel okay. We'll release a couple people that we know aren't going to be coming back. You can be released. Lurg. I'll release Debian. You can be released. Okay. So we have those room to just re-sign them. But other than that, let's take a look at the defensemen right now real quick. And after we sign those guys, we'll be down to about 3 mil in cap space. So, I mean, we could get rid of a guy like Robida, still hasn't been signed. Right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, Elliott, 5, and 1 more defenseman that we need. And we need 1 more forward after we re-sign those guys, because then our team will be set, because we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Our top 6 players will all be... Oh, looks, I'm looking at the wrong positions, but our top 6 forwards will all be over 82. Then we have McGinn, Vincourt. So let's just advance the next day and see if those players re-sign, and we'll see how much cap space we have by the end of this. Another thing I realized is that McKinnon is at like 3 mil in terms of his contract. I think now you could sign rookies to a little bit higher. Okay, both players re-signed, so that's great. And forwards, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if we re-sign Whitney, I mean, we'll have about 2 mil left to pick up a good forward. And I mean, we could search for who makes under 2 mil like we did over there and try to pick one of those guys up. Or we could try to re-sign, well, let me just take a look at it, because we need another defenseman as well. So I mean, right now we have, I think, 10 good players. If I was mistaken, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, we have 10 good forwards. I mean, we could play McKinnon, call him up, but I feel like it'd probably be better if we, you know what, I think I'm just going to let Ray Whitney walk. In terms of defensemen, we also need another defenseman. So, I mean, 4 mil, we could sign 2 cheap forwards, or try to sign 2 cheap forwards, or try to make a trade, maybe like, let's say trade a guy like St. Louis for Tarasenko and someone else. I mean, St. Louis would probably be retiring next year, and we'd end up freeing some cap, and we could get Tarasenko, we'd probably replace him. I mean, our team might be worse, but it'd probably be better in the long run. Also, defenseman here. Yeah, our defenseman is pretty much set. Our core is basically ready to go. Where did Barry go? Okay, Barry's right there. I got worried that the free agent glitch happened somehow, but Robida, I think we'll let him go. We need 1 defenseman to partner up. Could be a 80 overall defenseman for all I care, but to the forward, I mean, if we can make a move with St. Louis, I think I'm stretching out this episode for quite a bit. So let's see if we can make a trade real quick here. I want to get into free agency as well, but we can't get into trades until free agency. Whoops. Okay, so I think right now the best idea would probably be not to re-sign Robida and Whitney. It's a tough choice, but I mean, Whitney's already retiring next year, and I mean, I could maybe find a cheaper guy in terms of the same salary, and I mean, we only have, what, 4 mil, I believe, so I mean, it'd be nice to pick up a guy who's maybe a little bit better. So we'll simulate up to that day, and we'll see if we could get something for St. Louis in the trade market. I mean, if we could hammer out a deal with St. Louis for Tarasenko, throw in a couple draft picks, Tarasenko will definitely turn into a very solid player in the future. So that'll be very interesting to see. And okay, no, we're gonna continue. Okay, so Agazino end up re-signing as well. So we're up to 4.8 mil in available cap, and we need to get two forwards and 1 defenseman. And I mean, right now you can see the free agents don't look too well, but after the first, it'll be a lot better. Okay, sure. And so let's take a look at the free agents that are available right now, and if there's any player worth going after. So Hank Sedin is up there. He's only looking for 6.4 mil, but we definitely don't have enough cap space for that, and we're already good down the center aisle. So let's take a look. Iginla might be okay signing. Brassard doesn't seem too bad, because he's only 26 and 4-star gold potential. So I mean, I know he's a center, but he has potential to become like a solid 3rd-line center. But another thing we have to take a look at is getting a defensive specialist. So let's take a look at the defense. Hank Sedin is up there for sure. Forwards. Any good defensive players? Prust. Jay McClement is also the defensive specialist. So I mean, we could sign a guy like Prust to play on our 4th line, and he'll also be, you know, a power play specialist, basically. I mean, a penalty kill specialist, and he's already 30, so I mean, if we could sign him for cheap, and then maybe I want to sign Brassard, though, because he does look like a very intriguing player. I mean, he could get a lot better, but is Brassard any good at defense? Let's just take a look at that, the stats. He's a 4-star, so he's solid at defense, but he's definitely not a penalty kill specialist, and the penalty kill is what killed us during the year. Just trying to think here. Prust, McClement maybe is a cheaper option. I mean, he's not as good as Prust in terms of other stuff, but I mean, we could play him on the wing, and if we could get him for like 1.5 mil, that wouldn't be bad at all. He's decent in faceoff, so he could play in the center position. Let's see what we can get for McClement. We'll go at 3 years. Just trying to think what we can get him for. If we could get him for 1.5, that wouldn't be too bad. Yeah, let's go with 1.6 just to be sure, because I do want to sign him. There's no other teams interested, but I mean, a 3-year contract for McClement. He's a defensive specialist, so he'll definitely help out in terms of the penalty kill. and we have about 4.8 mil in cap. So he wouldn't take up too much. We still have around 3 point something, which would be enough to maybe re-sign Brassard, and we can play another guy like a defensive player for a mil. But let's offer Jay McClement because we need to revamp that penalty kill. And you know what, it might just be easier if we resign a player like Brassard and McClement to both play on our fourth line. I mean, I know we're not adding depth in terms of a player like Stempniak, but I mean, we were fine all last year except for that penalty kill. So if we could sign both these guys, I know they're old, but look at that defensive stats. I mean, they're a lot better than other players like these guys. I mean, a guy like Saboka, who's an offensive player, has 4-star defensive stats, so it doesn't really matter too much. I mean, Brassard is also not a bad player. He's actually the most intriguing guy for me for right now. Let's see. I mean, we probably have to offer him quite a bit to sign him. Buffalo, Detroit, Florida, New York Islanders all want him, so you have to battle with other players, so you can't get him cheap. But right now, at this point, we're the only players with offers to Prost and McClement. I mean, we could give these guys an offer and then see if we could pick up a defenseman that's like an 80 overall. And so yeah, we could pick up a guy like, let's say, Bergeron, Tallender, Fistrick, maybe Fane, Nikitin. I'd say Fane, maybe Babchuk even, or like a guy like even Clayton Stoner. I mean, he's not too bad of a defensive player, and I mean, he's a top 6 role. That's what we need, and we could get him cheap. Sanguinetti's even cheaper, so we'll see. You know what? Let's offer Sanguinetti an offer. I mean, he might not be the best defensive player, but I mean, he could still develop. And his defense is only at 3.5 stars, though, so that's not what you want to see. But that's because defensive awareness is a little bit low. He's a 2-way D, but I feel like him and Sanguinetti, our third line, is actually not too bad. So let's take a look at if we could pick him up for like a year for any cheaper. No, that's the cheapest. So if we could get him for like a mil, that'd be great. Let's go with just over a mil. 1.05 for 3 years. There's no other interested teams, so we're going after the cheaper guys. But I mean, I think I could probably sign. I mean, if I sign Prost and McClement, that'd be great for a penalty kill. But there's also a thing that I want to get depth and I want to have players for the future. But I mean, that's still why we have McKinnon there, and another. That's why we have McKinnon, and we'll try to get Tarasenko for St. Louis. But we'll give Prost an offer because I do like the way. Well, I don't like him as a player in real life, but I mean, we'll give him an offer. We'll see whether he accepts it. We'll also give him 3 years. That should be good enough. And we'll give him 1.85 since there's no other interested teams. And we'll see if that should be that. Hopefully, that's enough to re-sign, or else we're screwed. You know what? Let's give him We'll give him 1.9. So, and I'm just gonna take a look if we could trade away Martin St. Louis for Tarasenko. I don't know what St. Louis' trade potential. I mean, his trade value is very high. Well, not absolutely high, but good enough to pick up a couple players. And I'm just taking a look at who else is possible in terms of a trade. A young player, they got Sam Reinhart. Okay, let's see if we can maybe trade. I don't want to trade for Huberdeau because he is a center. A guy like Tarasenko would be a lot better. And now the problem is, I don't know if they accept it straight up, because Tarasenko is an 84 overall. He'd probably end up getting better. And at this point, we need to retain some cap, so we'd have to take some cap back. And that cap would be hard to get because, I mean, we could get a guy like Steen thrown in there, or Berglund, but I mean, a guy like Steen I wouldn't mind that, but that trade will definitely not be approved in terms of comparing the trade values. We'd have to throw in someone else there, someone that they want. I mean, I don't want to throw in Vancouver, but we could throw in a player. Well, actually, there's not much I can throw in here. Draft position, maybe a second rounder. Wouldn't that go through? I'm just crapshoot at this point. No, they're totally unwilling. Okay, so that's probably not going to happen, and we'd have to take on cap for it to go through. And let's just take a look at who they have the highest salary. They have quite a bit of players over like 4 mil and that kind of stuff. I mean, we could get like a guy like Matthias Olin to play on our defensive lines who would actually help out. And I mean, Sanguinetti will just be there on the side. And we could throw in that second just to be sure. And I feel like this might go through, but I'm just gonna, yeah, you know what? Let's give it a shot. Totally unwilling. Okay. So we're gonna have to give up something that they want, and I don't really have crappy players that they want. I mean, we could throw in Bordelot there. He's an okay player. Again, I feel like he's going to develop. Downey also. Don't want to give up players like McKinnon or Duchesne O'Reilly. Boyle, Mitchell, that's fine. 5, 8, 9, 10. If we sign those two guys, I mean, Tarasenko for St. Louis, or we could just try, no, it won't work like that because of the stupid cap, but if we retain some salary and try to make it work, I don't know how much we can retain. We could go up to like 3 mil. That still probably won't work. Yeah, so we'd have to take on some caps, so that won't work. Let's just take a look at my trading block just to see if we could search for a player once again with the same potential. I want to get a right winger, which would be nice. Once again, up to 25. Potential could be up to 4, and we're looking for a guy that's less than 2 mil. And that looks fine. So once again, now it's just Gallagher, Tarasenko, and Wilson because a lot of players got their extensions. A player like Gallagher doesn't actually have too much trade potential, and he could be turned into a decent player. So let's take a look at if we can get St. Louis for Gallagher. Montreal doesn't have too much cap either, so that definitely won't happen. But if we could take on some cap, that actually wouldn't be too bad. Do they even want St. Louis? No, they wouldn't. So it would be tough to get rid of him, and we need to take on some cap as well. If they have any crappy players with high cap, that'd be nice to see, but it looks like the only guy they have is Daniel Briere at 4 mil, and he's for 1 more year. So I mean, if we could try throwing him in there, and it still wouldn't be enough, so we'd have to retain some cap, and it still wouldn't be league approved. I guess it's because of my roster size. But take a look at who they would want. Where's player Bordelot? No, okay, so it's not gonna work. Forget it. We're not gonna make any trades. We'll go with St. Louis into the season. If anything, we can make trades during the season. I want to sim advance a date just to see if we can pick up Sanguinetti and a couple other players. GM rep has dropped. No news yet. I'm just gonna take a look at who I'm interested in. Approached, and there's still 1 team interest, so we don't have to worry about that too much. Approached. 1 team. Hopefully they don't get an offer from anyone else, because they'll probably end up taking that one. They're all holding off for now, but I mean, players like those would probably be good enough to add to our team. And okay, so Prust, Sanguinetti accepted, but Prust, and let's just take a look if they're still there, because I kind of wanted those guys. Yeah, they're still there, so we'll give them, you know what, we'll give them what they want. And I'll just give them, you know what, 2 mil. Which is not too bad. And McClement will also give him what he wants, which would be, let's say, 1.8. And that should be good enough to sign them, and then with that, we'll have our penalty kill revamped pretty much. And, oh, look at that, Robida ends up signing with the Coyotes. So I'm interested to see where a guy like Hank Sedin goes. I know I've been rambling on for a little bit, but I'm going to try to get through these a little bit faster. Oh, Hank Sedin signed with someone, and that team is Boston. So he ends up going from Vancouver to Boston. Very, very surprising there. I don't know how Boston had found the cap to get him, but we're going to keep simming just to see if we could end up getting McClement and Prust, because those are 2 guys that would really help our team. Still 1 team interested. Yep, both of them. Hopefully they don't hold out for too long. And we'll just keep simming. Should be 1 more day. Yes, Brandon Prust and McClement both accept. So I feel like our team is pretty much now set in terms of going into the season. We have improved our penalty kill drastically through the acquisition of Prust and McClement. Let's take a look at our contracts real quick here. And In terms of overall, for forwards, we'll have Duchesne, St. Louis, Landeskog, O'Reilly, Booker, McGinn, Downey, Prust, Vancouver, and then McClement, Mitchell, and Boyle. Pretty much all around a very good team. On our fourth line, we have a lot of 80s and 79s, but I mean, a lot of players can get better, and our first line will definitely have to step up this year. And in defense, we have Eric Johnson, Myers, Ekman Larson, Barry, and then Sanguinetti and Elliott playing on our third line. I mean, it could be nice to get them a little bit better, but I mean, they could still develop. They still have 3.5 potential, and our first lines are pretty much set right now. So with that, I guess I'll sim to the rest of the free agency. I know I meant to stop it a little bit earlier, but I did want to see what kind of free agents there would be able to get. So I mean, the penalty kill, I feel like, will definitely help us in terms of the rest of the season, like we did against Nashville. I mean, if we did have a better penalty kill, we would definitely, and I can guarantee it, we would definitely win that series. I think we had the worst penalty kill in all of the NHL during the playoffs. That's how bad it was. So I guess we'll sim the rest of this. Mason Raymond also went to Boston there. Ray Emery to Florida. Just looking at popping up who signs where, and not too much other than that. Mike Komisarek went to Buffalo. Mike Koska went to the Blackhawks. So players, I guess, are re-signing with their with the same team. Kyle Welwood to the Predators. Vokun's still up there. TJ Brennan's still up there, who might have not been a bad push, bad signing. But look at our cap right now; it's up to $5 million. I don't understand why it went up there, but I mean, I'm just gonna stop simulation and take a look at who we could actually. Okay, if we can pick up anyone else. I mean, we have $5 million cap. I don't know how we got that money, but I don't want to show up, you know, middle of the trades and not being able to. You know what? Let's just put St. Louis on the market, and we'll see who actually wants an old guy like St. Louis. I doubt anyone else, any team wants to add him. Oh, there was one team, Philadelphia. Of course, it's Philadelphia that wants to add him. They don't have any cap whatsoever if we send a trade. So, I mean, we'd have to take on someone. I mean, like a guy like Wayne Simmons would probably not be too bad. I think he's done growing. No, he still could grow a little bit. Braden Shen would be another nice addition in terms of center. I mean, I doubt this will work, but Philadelphia is pretty crazy. So this trade wouldn't be too bad. Braden Shen's already at an 84 overall, and pretty good shooting, skating, all that stuff. Defense also pretty good. Face-offs are a little bit bad, but that's why you could play him on the wing. And let's just run it through. We'll see if it works. No, not even close. So see who they're giving up. No, they're just giving up prospects at this point. So I don't think that's going to work. I kind of want to trade straight up, but it's going to be hard in terms of like the trading. See who else they want from our team. They want a little bit older guy. Sanguinetti we could throw in there, but he doesn't have any trade value whatsoever. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it. We're not going to... we could try throwing in a future first-round pick, 2016. I feel like by then our players will be a lot better and developed. But let's try with a second and a fourth and a fifth and a sixth at this point, because we're not going to find any good players. And it actually goes through. So we end up only giving up a second. I mean, fourth, fifth, and sixth are pretty much useless draft picks unless you find like a good player out of nowhere. But you need to get your pro scout up to the top before you find one of those guys like a Datsuk or Zetterberg. But nice. So we traded away St. Louis. He's gone. We have a little bit more cap, $7 million actually. So I wish we did this at the start of the free agency, because I don't think there's any good players left to sign. Yeah, as you can see, there's not much. But a guy like Colburn we could still sign. He's still available. Mersak. I mean, Colburn might actually get up to 80 overall, so it'd be nice to have him. We could sign him for 1 year maybe, and see. He doesn't even want that much at all, and it's just too. So Toronto's trying to re-sign him, but like if we could snatch him up for, how much did he want for 2 years? 1.3. Okay, so you know what? We'll give him 2 years at 1.3, and I mean, he could. I've seen Colbert get up to an 84 before. So wait, was he an RFA? No, he was. Oh, he was an RFA. So I don't know who we'll have to give up, but shouldn't be too. Actually, we can't because we don't have those draft picks. So that's what it was. Okay, so he's gonna get back. He's gonna just holding out basically, And other than that, I feel like our team is set. We're going to sim up to the start of the preseason to see how our lines are looking, and we're not going to sim any games yet, but I know I'm talking on for long. You probably, if you're still watching this, good on you, because I mean, you don't want to hear a guy talk for half an hour, but my voice is starting to hurt by itself. But yeah, so we traded away St. Louis. Now we have Braden Shen, a guy who could probably hit pretty high overalls, and he's also, I mean, he's not good in the faceoffs in the center position, but I mean, he could play on the right wing, and we have improved our penalty kills. St. Louis was hitting old. I was afraid he was going to retire next year, and it would be pretty shitty to go away with nothing. So I mean, we could basically transfer St. Louis for 1 year and a second round pick for Braden Shen. Now I could have gone probably a little bit better, but a bunch of those draft picks were probably useless anyways. So we'll sim to the end here. I don't know how long this video has been going on for. Looks like 40 minutes, so I might split this into 2 parts. Because it has been going on for a while. So, I mean, I'll probably upload it both at like the same time. But, yeah, let's take a look at what we can get. Let's take sim to the start of the preseason. Should probably switch over to Colorado, but I mean, we have cap space and we can make trades during the year. Trade away a couple guys and maybe improve that D. I mean, we still have first round pick for the following year, but once again, we won't be able to make any picks in the draft. So we're back, and he only wants us to make 37 wins. I'm expecting to hear from you. Okay, scouting assignment, and of course, McDavid's the best guy in this draft. And take a look at the OHL real quick. And as you can see, projections. It's, oh, wait. Am I looking at the wrong thing? No, I'm pretty sure McDavid should be in this draft. Oh, there he is. First round, McDavid. Alright, so we'll scout that. Update the scouting changes, and where's the preseason? Preseason's up right here. So we'll sim right to before the preseason starts. Or you know what, since I'm splitting this into 2 parts, we're gonna, I guess we'll just sim the preseason, then we'll start off the season in the next episode. So if you are watching both episodes, I mean, if you felt like the other episode ended off real quick, then I'll just have, this is going to be the finish of it, because it has been going for way too long. I know you guys don't want to watch a 15-minute video, so you could split it up. And so let's take a look at our lines real quick. And roster moves here. And we'll just take a look at the overalls, and we gotta make a couple changes. Overalls for forwards. McKinnon's in the CHL. He's only has 71. Landeskog, Shane O'Reilly. McGinn went up to 84. Braden Shen to an 84. Booker to an 83. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. McClement up to 80. 10, 11, and 12. So that will be the players we'll send Bordelot down to the minors. And in defense, we have Johnson, Myers, Ekman-Larsson. Sanguinetti went up to an 83, and we signed him for 1.05 mil for, I'm not sure, I think 1 year or 2 years or something like that, but an 83 overall. So he even got better than Barry. So I mean, that's a nice signing right there. Surprising, we got him for 3 years at 1 mil. So a guy like Sanguinetti's perfect signing, and he'll play. So Barry will end up playing with Elliott on our third line, so not too bad. And then goalies, let's take a look at Pickard, and Pickard's an 81, so that's great. So we'll send Aito Kallio down to the AHL, and that should be good enough. We're gonna edit lines. I'll set up best lines for now, but as you can see, we'll have McClement, Prust, and O'Reilly. McClement's good on the faceoffs, but Boyle I think is decent as well. Yeah, Boyle's decent at faceoff, so we'll keep him there. Vancouver and Mitchell here. McGinn, Braden Shen, and Downey. Now I don't like this setup or alignment here, because I want O'Reilly playing on the first line. Shen sucks at faceoff, so we'll kick Shen up here, and we'll have McClement playing on our center line there, and that's how we'll set it up. And you know what, just so we don't have a whole line of grinders, we can throw Vancouver up here, Prust down to our that line, and then we'll have a grinder sniper 2-way forward, and then grinder power forward grinder, which is pretty much the same thing. We could have an all-way grinder line, but I'll leave that up to you guys. Defense, we have Johnson, Myers, Barry, Ekman-Larsson, and then Elliott and Sanguinetti. I guess we'll leave Sanguinetti down here. On the power play, Landeskog, Duchesne, Bucker, O'Reilly, Shen, and McKinn. We'll just change Shen with O'Reilly. 4-man power play, also we'll just change Shen with Bucker. And our penalty kill, McClement, O'Reilly, Boyle, and Duchesne. I can change Duchesne over to Prust if you're looking at defensive awareness. Where is Prust? So 85, and he's great at defense as well. So Prust, McClement, and O'Reilly. That should definitely improve our penalty kill by a lot. O'Reilly and McClement up here. 4-on-4 lines we'll leave alone. Extra attacker's fine, goalie's fine, and shootout's fine. So that's how our lines were gonna look. And we have a lot of cap after we freed up Martin St. Louis, and we could probably end up picking up another player in the future. But at this point, I like how our team is set up. So I'm going to be wrapping up part 2 real soon. So I'm going to split this up. I'll upload it between like 3 hours. In case you guys are watching the second one, you're wondering why it just cut off short. This is the explanation for it. Let's take a look at... I guess, you know what, we'll sim the preseason and... No, you know what? We're going to end it off here. We're going to sim the preseason in the first episode, and we'll try to sim a couple games in the regular season, hopefully till the end of like November or something. And we'll see how it goes, because we made a couple bit changes, and we'll see if that new improved penalty kill can make a difference. So with that, hope you guys enjoyed episode number 7 now. And I guess with that, I'll see you guys later. Peace.